Did you know that pickleball is the fastest growing sport in the USA and worldwide? Watch now as Kurt Heisey, a pickleball powerhouse in winning medals, tells you how you can get going in pickleball.
So pickleball is a very, very fast-growing sport. It's the fastest growing sport in all of the U.S. for the last several years. And maybe you don't really know what it's about. If so, you're just like me. I drove by a gymnasium near here for several years and it said pickleball, Tuesday or Thursday. Then a friend of mine said, hey, you should come play pickleball. But I thought, is that some kind of bowling game? Is it some type of things that old people play? I had no idea what really it was about. And so if that's you, you should stay and listen to what we have to say, because in just a few minutes we're going to bring you up to speed. Pickleball is a sport that is really fast growing. And some people that know a little bit about it think that it's just for old people, but the fastest growing demographic is from 18 to 35 years old. There's different apps that you can get to find out where the pickleball courts are near you. So you can find those apps, you can download them, and pretty soon you can find, if you go on a vacation, where the courts are near you. If you're going to a resort, you can see, do they have pickleball courts? Or if you go to a hotel, you can now say, I want a hotel with pickleball courts, and you can select those courts that are those hotels and those places that have a place where you can play the game. Background, when I was in high school and when I was in college, I was a wrestler. I wrestled at a small Division III school and went to the national championships, took fourth. I really enjoyed ping pong a lot. When I was in college, I didn't do it on a team, but we did a lot of hours of ping pong, which really helped with some paddle skills. But for many years I was busy with growing our business, with pastoring our church, and so I didn't have a lot of time for a lot of sports. I did play softball, I played some basketball, so I was always active. But I was getting to a point in my life where I was beginning to cut down what I was doing at the business. I was beginning to look at relocating in retirement, and so free time, I began to have a little bit more free time, and with that free time I found something that I wanted to fill it with, and that was improving my skills in pickleball and beginning to train more in that realm. So one day my brother said to me, hey, I started playing pickleball. And I said, oh, really? He goes, yeah, it's pretty fun. He says, you have a paddle and it's in a ball, and I think that you would like it. So I said, well, I'll go down to the local Knoxville gym where I had seen the sign, and I'll learn a little bit about the game. So with no experience in any racket sport, I didn't play racquetball, I didn't play tennis except for once or twice and wasn't good at it. I went down and I said, well, this is kind of fun. And so I began to play there, and then found out, oh, there's some people that also play in Elkland. And so I would go and I began to play with them. And you'll find different places have different levels, because the level from Elkland was much higher than the level in Knoxville. And so I began to play with them, and pretty soon, I was keeping up with the people in Knoxville. And then I heard, they have another place here, another place there. And there's like a sub-community of people that know everything about pickleball in a certain area, and you begin to play against other people with different skills, and it can begin to really grow. We're being based here in Westfield, Pennsylvania. You may wonder, where do people come from? Well, in Knoxville, we have people coming from Gaines, people come from Wellsboro. In Elkland, they come from Wellsboro. Up in New York State, they come down. I have friends that play over in Ulysses, and they'll come from Coudersport, they'll come from Elkland, they'll come from different places. And so there is in Wellsboro has Packer Park where they play, as well as the high school in the winter. And so there's places to play pickleball. And if you don't have any friends, show up at a pickleball place, and within a couple hours you'll have some new friends. It's a very social place, and it's a place where you can meet new friends, a lot of great people, a lot of caring people, a lot of people that are just interested in getting out, being a little bit more fit, and developing those relationships. So pickleball is not just an athletic activity, it's also a social experience. And so you really develop a great friendship core in a whole region, and you meet people that you would never meet elsewhere, and they're going to be really, really good people. So if you've never played pickleball before, first step I'd say, find a place locally and go out and have someone show you what the game is about. I've never found anybody yet that did not enjoy playing pickleball. If you start to play and then you say, you know, I would like to increase my ability, then you need to then make a decision on how am I going to begin to improve my skills. There are some people that they play for 15 or 18 years and they just stay on the same level. Why? Because they just go out and they have fun, but they don't really care about playing better, about improving their skills. And they never drill anything, they never practice anything. They just go out and with their friends and have fun. And if that's what you want to do, fine. But if you're like me and you want to improve and you have a growth mindset, it's just like any business, it's about like anything you want to do. If you have a growth mindset, you begin to discipline yourself to do certain things that will lead to growth rather than just your own fun and your own pleasure. So that's what I did. I began to put the things together that was a growth mindset. The third thing that I did was I began to surround myself with people that were better than me. In Florida, I went to a sports club. It's RPMS Sports Club in Kissimmee. And when I first went there, I was like, man, these guys are giants in this game. I mean, they're killing me all the time. But now 2 years later, when I go, they're like, oh no, Kurt's here. He is high level guy. And so what I did is I went and I had people that would totally challenge me. Before I won our last gold medal in a PPA tournament, I said to my partner, I said, you know what, we need to go and be challenged by the very best. So in Central Florida, they had a money ball where all of the people that were working to be in pro tournaments, they would go to that. And these guys were way ahead of us. I figured we probably won't win a game, but I was right. We won 1 game out of 6. And we did that several times. But what it did is got us always prepared for high-level shots, high-level pressure. And when we went to a tournament and we played people that were to be in our level, I mean, the people we were playing, they were like 20, 25, 30 years old. And when we were playing in a 50-plus group, I said, let's do what those young guys did to us. Let's put pressure on every shot. And we won the gold medal. And so if you want to grow, you need to make sure you go play people that will pressure you, that will challenge you. Because if you always play people that are lower than you, they'll say you're great, but you'll get stagnant at that level. And so if you have a growth mindset, you will put yourself to play with people that will challenge you and show you your weakness, show you what you need to work on, and then you can go drill that. And then you can go back and play against the big guys again, and there's another weakness. And so you begin to do that. And so there's some mental mindset that you must have. Not be afraid to get beat. Not be afraid to have people that are better than you, younger than you, quicker than you, more skilled than you, because that's the only way that you're going to improve. And so that's been a big part of what has really helped me. And then finally, you need to make sure that you are willing to take risks. Sign up for the big tournaments where you think you might get killed. Sign up. Why? Because that's where you really learn where you're at. When we first went to big tournaments, I've been to tournaments where we go home, it's like, well, we won some, we lost some, we didn't medal, we didn't do that, but we were challenged. and we take that risk. And then you say, you know what, I want to play a higher level. You know, I used to play in a 3-5 level. Now I'm playing 4-0 and 4-5 levels. You challenge yourself to a higher level with a higher competition and continue to grow. I find a lot of fun and a lot of satisfaction in going against very, very good players and either winning or else giving them a big challenge. Why? Because it's much better than going against low-level people and having an easy time where I can easily beat them. So I think that's true in any area of life, is that, you know, you have to have a growth mindset. You have to make a decision, not just to be comfortable, but to make yourself uncomfortable so that you can grow. So what really was the spark to make me want to begin to improve was I went for a vacation down in Lewis, Delaware, and I took my pickleball paddle and found a place where I could go play. So I played once and they said, hey, we are having a pro come in this weekend to do a clinic. I thought, sounds like I could benefit from that. So I signed up, and it turned out to be Megan Fudge and her husband. And Megan is the #1 all-time medal winner for the APP, a professional tournament venue. So she went, I went there and began to play, and it was good. So I signed up for the next day. So I went back the next day, and I got there early, and so I was just kind of hitting the ball, practicing some serves, and this little kid about 5 years old would grab it and throw it back to me. And I said, oh, this is nice. I don't need to chase my balls. And I said, why don't you get a paddle? He asked his dad, who was there. Yeah, so the kid began to hit it back. And I thought, for a 5-year-old, he is really hitting it back well. And so finally, we're just playing back and forth, and it turned out to be the pro's son. And finally, he said, I've figured out your weakness. I said, really? What's that? He said, it's your backhand. Now, that is normally somebody's weakness, but I said, you're exactly right. That's when I said, if a 5-year-old can determine my weakness in 10 minutes, then I really need to begin to up my game. So I began to then consistently begin to drill, not just play recreationally, but to begin to do drills, to begin to, I bought a ball machine, and so that even if there's no one playing with me, I could go work on my mechanics, I could work on my shot, and I began to watch a lot of coaching online from YouTube and things to begin to up my decision-making process while I'm in the middle of the game on what kind of shot, how much pressure to use, where to place the shot, where to position myself and correct footwork and that type of thing. So that was really the key that launched me into wanting to begin to take it to a higher level and to do the things that it takes to go from a beginner recreational level to a higher level that can compete internationally in tournaments. So you never really know where pickleball can lead you. This past year, and one of the very first times in Orlando, I was featured as the Warrior of the Week, and they highlighted how pickleball has become part of my life and the influence that I have had through pickleball, through different people and different places. So that's been really interesting. The Wellsboro paper, they did an article on how pickleball has led me to China and have been able to teach pickleball there. So you really never know when you give yourself to something and improving on something and build relationships. You never know where those relationships will lead you. You never know what you do. So here, World Championships in Dallas, Texas, went out there, and that was this past fall. And so it took a bronze at the PPA World Championship. This is a different color you can see. That's gold, and that was the gold medal at the PPA tournament. And so very, I actually have about 30 tournaments. And so this was from the Hangzhou, the very first PPA tournament in China, mainland China. And so I was invited to come and to play there. So I would have never have guessed that the first time I walked in to Knoxville Community Center to play pickleball, that it would have led to where it has, that I would have been winning medals. I have a wall in Florida with over 30 medals that I've won in the past few years, and I'm looking forward to continuing to grow, continue to improve, continue to have fun, continue to build new relationships, and continue to travel all over the U.S. and the world, doing something that I really enjoy doing.
Thanks for watching another segment of Hometowns and Heroes with Heisey, Pickleball Champion.